Hey, Nice Guy community. Steve O'Brien got really sick of Doug and Strick, so it's Anna, the production assistant, tuning in here, and here's what you're going to hear on the Nice Guys on Business today.
I hate the surprise charge, and I will fight back on it just on principle. Like, you know what? If you had told me this up front, I would have been totally fine paying it. But you know what? Fuck you. Don't try and sneak this in on the back end. I hate that.
Because you didn't give me a chance to decide, right?
Exactly.
Give the person a,
100% with you. Now, the second thing is the Catholics, okay? God, I'm going to piss off so many people here, but what the fuck, right? If we haven't lost every listener on Tuesday, we'll lose all the rest today, right?
Okay. Are you sure this was the topic that you wanted to start with today,
apparently
right?
not. I guess so, okay?
Broadcasting live from their mother's basement, it's the Nice Guys on Business. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Starting the episode.
Fans, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. It's the Thursday show, and you know what?
We have one. We have one listener left.
The reason that we are starting, for any of those of you who actually listen to the Tuesday show, which the title of which was "Please Don't Listen to This Show," you'll know why we're starting with this music. Because basically, the entire Tuesday show was one big technical difficulty. So that is why we're starting with that music, because basically it is saying, you know what? We apologize for the Tuesday show.
When you say technical difficulty, do you mean that I was just completely an idiot on the show, or were you talking about something else?
It was all of the above. And you know what's hilarious? And I don't know if it came through or not, but as we were going through the end of the Tuesday show, and by the way, I'm not going to say what we were doing at the end of the Tuesday show, okay?
Yeah.
Because if you want to find out, you have to go back and listen to the end of the Tuesday show. Mar texted me with the word pop.
What did Mar do? What did she do?
Hey, Mar, go ahead and do it again right now. I want to, and Doug will understand when you do it again right now, because Mar's here with us again on Thursday. She was here on the Tuesday show.
What'd you do, Mar?
Did you get that?
Yes, I got it.
You know why she did that?
Yeah, because
Exactly. We're not going to say what we were doing at the end of the Tuesday show.
Oh my gosh. So if you know what that sound effect is, you are in the right place. You are home, ladies and gentlemen, Nice Guy community, FunkNfans. Welcome the fuck back. Welcome back. Thank you for being
Doug Sandler
here.
on the other side of the microphone. I'm Strickland Bonner, and we have Mar once again.
Hi, Mar.
Hey guys.
She is so gosh. I barely got a peep out of her. Barely got a peep. Well, let's start by saying this, everybody. For Tuesday's episode, we apologize.
We're sorry. We're sorry.
We don't know what happened. We don't know where we went. We started off the rails. We spun the wheel. That's about what we did. And then we've titled the episode appropriately. So go back and look at the title to Tuesday's episode. And then you can go against the title or you can go for the title. Either way. But we would like you to maybe just listen to the first maybe 10 seconds of the episode because we want the download. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah, download it. Just don't actually listen to it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Strick, I found out something very interesting because I had been looking at the...
Are you picking another topic before I even get to the speed read of the topics because we didn't get to a single topic on Tuesday?
Yeah. I thought this was just in fitting format to how we normally go, no?
Sure, Doug, go ahead.
So
let's see if we can get through a Tuesday and Thursday episode without hitting a single topic.
I was checking some of the analytics from some of our episodes that are maybe a month, maybe a month and a half, maybe even 2 months old.
Okay.
And something very interesting happens. Those people that are downloading for the first month, those are typically 90% of those people are Overcast listeners. And thank you, by the way, for all of our Overcast listeners. And please recommend our episode by just hitting the little star key. Star button on the on your player. But I did notice that when you're a month and a half, maybe 2 months in, that percentage drops from 91%, 91%, down to under 80% are Overcast listeners, which means that the iTunes listeners lag about a month behind in downloading the episodes. I don't know why that's the case.
Interesting. So basically, when we check it a couple days, a week out, our Overcast downloads are at 90%. But when we
Yep.
check an episode that's a month or two old,
Yes.
the percentage goes down by a lot. So people that are downloading back episodes are doing so not on Overcast. Very interesting.
Correct. So what I'm taking that as one of two things. Either people that have iPhones and use, people that use iTunes are a little slower than those people that
You
listen
said it,
on.
I didn't.
That listen on. So if you're listening, if you don't know if you're slow or not, just look at your phone and tell me if you're listening on iTunes or Overcast. If you're listening on Overcast, hats off to you, high IQ. If you're listening on iTunes, chances are good that you probably have a lower GPA than those that are listening to
Mar,
on
please
Overcast.
speak up. Please speak up, because if I jump in, it's just
you
going to
just
sound like I'm
insulted me,
bashing Apple
Doug.
again.
You just insulted me. You just
Wait,
insulted
Mari,
me.
don't tell me you listen on iTunes.
Well, on my podcast app, yes, I don't go to Overcast. I only do the star for you guys, but that's
So
it.
Mar, what's gonna happen? We appreciate you going over to Overcast and taking a second download for us. But Mar, what's gonna happen when at the end of the year and when this show hits over 1 million episodes, and then Strick and I, Strick, can we actually do this? Because we talked about this before? Doesn't Overcast get their feed from iTunes?
You could be right.
So I don't think we can.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So how do we do it? Can we change the show name just for iTunes, calling it something like Bible
Don't
Study?
download this show.
Bible Study.
Bible study.
That
Well,
would
I'm
be
figuring if
hilarious.
the show
No.
was called Bible Study, you think less people, Mar, or more people would listen to the show?
I don't think you should do that at all. I told you what to name it.
Oh, what are we supposed to call the show? What are we supposed to call the show, Mar? Now I'm curious. I forget.
Oh, wait. I thought you meant the title of the episode. That one?
Oh
Or the
no,
whole
no,
show?
the title of the entire show. Yeah, the entire show.
Oh, because you don't want people to listen to it?
on iTunes.
Strict. Yeah, well, it's
Let's just
okay.
call it "Don't Download This Podcast." Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. We'll probably get 1 million downloads on iTunes when we change the
That's
name
true.
to "Don't Download This Podcast."
But if we change it on iTunes, that we're going to change it on through the
Yeah,
RSS feed, which would
yeah, I
affect.
don't
Yeah,
think we
we're
can
really
do that. Yeah,
we're
that's
stuck with
have to be
iTunes. I think we
consistent.
are. I think we're stuck. We're stuck. That's okay. We'll just continue to get all of our downloads through Overcast, and we're okay with that. Okay, Strickland, we avoided this on Tuesday. You spun the wheel. We said we were going to do the speed read. We never got there. So should we do it now? Did we introduce ourselves? We did that, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Okay, let's do.
Yeah.
Are you
You're
ready to do
sure
the
you don't have any other topics that are not on the list that you want to get to before I do the speed read of the
I
topics that we're
do.
not going to get to?
No, I have a whole bunch of actually other topics that I've thought of, but I thought that I would let you do the speed read first before this, so that we can at least have you do the speed read before I start any of
Oh
those.
my God. Okay. You know, as soon as we do the speed read, we've got to focus on a couple because there's some really good topics in here.
Okay, all right.
Are you ready?
Can I mention something before you do the speed read?
Sure, why not? I mean, you know, that's what I get for not jumping in and doing it immediately. I shouldn't give you the window, but go ahead. Now that I've opened the window.
We
crawl
have
through.
set up several reward levels on Patreon that people have not even clicked on yet. We would like you to at least take a look and see what you're not going to get. Okay, so if you go over to patreon.com/NiceGuys, I would like to say for as little as $1 a month, but we're soon going to be raising the minimums to $10 a month because the $1 a month minimum apparently does not work, Strickland, so we need to go to 10.
Why doesn't the
anyway.
$1 a month work? What are you trying to say?
How many dollar contributors do we have?
One.
One. Okay,
We
so
have
we
a
have
number
one.
of $2 contributors.
We have many $10 contributors, and that's
we have many $2 contributors also.
Oh, so $2. Maybe we upgrade the $2 contributors to the $10 reward level so that they can feel what it's like to get those $10 rewards, and then they will contribute $10 a month instead of $2.
But if they get the $10 reward for donating $2, why would they donate 10 when they don't have to?
We'll do a little trial period. Well, yeah, we'll give them a little bump, a little something. You know, you know what I'm saying?
In other words, we're going to give them a teaser.
Yes, a tease, a little.
So, like,
a
we could
little
actually
taste.
we could read their names on the podcast and send them a link so they could listen in if they wanted to.
Yes, I think this is a great plan. We're gonna have like an amnesty day for for next week. Can we do that?
Okay, sure, we
That'd
can
be
do
kind of
that.
cool.
Okay, maybe next week we'll do that. That sounds good.
Okay, all right.
A
I think
July
this is-
special. It'll be a July special. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
We'll
a
send that out
summer special.
Every Patreon patron, no matter what you donated, you'll get a link next week for us to listen in and while we record our shows. if you want.
Yes, this is good. This is exciting time. This was like we had a breakthrough just there for a moment.
Yeah? You like that?
Strick, this could be great.
So should I read the Patreon patron names? Because we're
Yes.
already like a week into
Yes.
the month now. And if you are a $10 or a $5 contributor, you get a shout out on the show every month. And that includes Ryan Bocross, Prosh Khan, Greg Osterdyke, Stephanie Sursland, Pat Perdue, our newest Funkin' fan donating on Patreon, who was actually on the show last week and was really entertaining. He jumped in just to listen in, and we actually ended up getting him involved in the show. And
hey, Mara, did you like that show? That was a great show, wasn't it?
I loved it. I listened to it like 4 times. It was great.
Pat was really good. You know, here's what I think, Strick. I think
Pat is the man.
Like these specialty people that come on, like Pat is a guru when it comes to customer experience. He did the whole bag tax thing. That was a great conversation. I loved it.
Really good.
That's a classic.
Oh
classic
gosh, you guys would have hated it if I were on the show, man. Strick, you would have like grilled me.
Why?
I'm one of those people that's like, don't charge me. I'll carry it out to my car.
No, but
it's a principle. It's a principle.
No, you are exactly the person that I was making the argument to Doug about. Like, Doug is like, why the fuck did they ask? And my attitude was like, because there are people who, after you put them in the bags, and again, I'm not digging on those people. I'm basically saying, Doug, come on, these people exist. Like, Mar, that's exactly what you would have done.
That's me.
Not trying to put you down. I'm trying to defend the cashier.
Put me down. No, it's so true. Put me down, because I'm like, where'd this charge come from? And I'm like, if you're going to charge me, I'll just carry it to my car. I'm good. I have a bag in my car. I'll just
for 25 cents, you carry the fucking bags to your car? Seriously?
It's
you
a
know what?
principle.
I mean the groceries.
It's a principle. I'm totally with you.
It's a surprise charge. It's a surprise charge. Yeah. It's just like, I'm totally weird. But yeah, that's me. That's why I was like, oh God, Strick would have had a field day with me.
Nope. I hate that shit too. I'm with you 100%. Like, I hate the surprise charge, and I will fight back on it just on principle. Like, you know what? If you had told me this up front, I would have been totally fine paying it. But you know what? Fuck you. Don't try and sneak this in on the back end.
Because you didn't give me a chance to decide, right?
Exactly.
It's like give the person
I am 100%.
If you want to know more about what that conversation was all about, just go back to, was it Thursday's episode? I think it was
Thursday's episode for, Jesus, I don't even know. Thursday last week, yeah.
Yeah, it was almost like it was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday episode. It was that good.
It was
that good. We made up for it on Tuesday, though.
So we also have, this past Tuesday, we also have more contributors. Craig Hugim, Michael Collins, Sonny Lake, Sean Carpenter, Jeff Chessman, Tomas Conifrey, and... saying his name correctly, I hope he will appreciate it. I know he will. Paul Morena.
Paul, where have you been? How many times have you said that to us? You need to say it like 30 times to us. You were only at 29.
Well, he did, and that's why I finally got it. I actually wrote it down right. Paul Morena.
Nice.
Who is our original Funkin' fan. He's been listening since episode 1.
Excellent. Now, did you add to that list the $2 contributors also?
No.
No.
We're just going to give them a link. Do we want to say their names too?
Yeah, I think we give them the full ride. All right.
Okay, all of these are our $1 and $2 contributors who normally will not get a shout out on the show, but we're going to send you next week a link if you want to listen in while we record. That will include Doug Sandler.
Yes. I know.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Doug.
I know. I contribute to the show.
Laura Cannon.
I
Michael
can't afford
Palmisano,
much, though. Wait. Sorry. I cut you off. Give me that last name after Laura Cannon.
Laura Cannon, Michael Palmisano. Mm-hmm. Brian Majanis. Boy, that's a weird pronunciation. Mjaanes. Brian Majanis. I think that's the right pronunciation. Chris Landry and Yenner Dye. D-A-Y-I. Dye?
Okay.
Yenner Dye. Boy, I'm sure I have totally...
We're in. Thanks for your bucks.
Flubbed that.
That's okay.
Flubbed that. So, anyway, thank you guys. And you know what else the other big news with Patreon is?
What is it?
For the month of June,
yes.
$110. Yes. We actually have $10 to pay Anna this month for writing the show notes.
Nice.
Oh my gosh,
Yay.
I'm so excited. We are over $100. That is ridiculous.
Over $100, so we actually can pay Mar $10 for doing the show notes this month.
No, it's Anna. Mar does not do the show.
Mar. I don't do the show
Mar,
notes.
I meant Anna. I'm sorry. I said Anna the first time. Sorry about that.
What's crazy about this is Nice Guy community. It does not take much to make Strick and I happy. I mean, look at it. we've been doing the show for 2.5 years.
I'm not even going to touch that one, but yes, that's true.
It does. Yeah, that's right. I'm playing this show completely straight. There's been so many opportunities in the last 20 minutes for me, or in the last 10 minutes since we started the show, for me to take the hidden meaning out of anything that Mar has said or you have said. I've completely let it just go because I'm just trying to play the show the straight way, the way you think I should, Strickland.
Doug, Mar, please correct me if you don't see this, but I think there are times where I will try to rein Doug in a bit, and he tends to swing too far the other way. In other words, I will try to do a little constructive criticism, and he basically goes to, you know what, fuck it, I'm just not going to do any of that anymore. I'm not going to do anything that would be anything like that might even possibly offend Strickland.
I'm not
going
to offend you.
Am I wrong on that, Mar?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're 100% right. I don't know. I have a very hard time. I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. And I just had this conversation with my wife this morning. I am all or nothing kind of...
That's what she said.
So there you guys go now.
Wait a minute. Oh, my God. I got to get my link.
Man.
Where is it?
You are horrible.
Right there it is. I had to find the link. That's what she said. Exactly.
Oh, all of a sudden it's okay. Go back to listen to Tuesday's fucking show, Mar, Miss Sensitive. You know?
Wait, how is that bad? How is that bad?
Just
bad.
You start chiming in a little bit on my sexuality, and I come back to you. I was talking to you on forget it. I'm not even going to go back to Tuesday's show. If you want to hear all of the crap that I put Mar through, and then Strickland made a completely ignorant comment, completely unaware. I guess that's part of ignorance.
Have you ever seen on Seth, what's the late night guy now? He was on Saturday Night Live. Seth, what the hell's his name?
Yeah, I know who you mean.
He does a bit called Jokes Seth Can't Tell. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, that is, yeah, you brought this up on the show
oh my God, it's so
ago.
hilarious. So it's like the writers come up with great jokes, but that are inappropriate for like a Jewish white guy to tell, a middle-aged white guy to tell. And so they have a black girl and a gay woman who are both writers on the show, and basically they each tell jokes that are funny coming from them, but would be offensive coming from Seth. The best. And they always end the bit with, why don't you try one, Seth? Oh, no, I couldn't. Oh, no, I'm going to get in trouble. Oh, no, I couldn't. And, of course, he tells one that's completely offensive, and they both go, Seth, you can't do that.
Right.
That's how I felt on Tuesday. I felt like the whole time I'm telling you, no, Doug. And then all of a sudden, I told the one joke that Seth can't tell, and it was like, I just got pounded on.
See, so I don't want to debrief the entire episode from Tuesday, but no, he goes, no.
No, but definitely not.
Look back to Tuesday mentally for just a moment.
Yeah.
As inappropriate and as much as you've titled that, do not listen to this episode, what was so great about it is it was truly, you can't be any more us than that show. I mean,
it was a total shit show. And you know what? It wasn't like we did it live. I could have made the choice not to publish it, but I did anyway.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you were mentioning. Okay, so we're at $110. That's fucking awesome. Thank you,
Nice Guy
community.
By the way, you are a very black and white guy. It is very funny. We talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
You are a very black and white guy, and I am very much a in gray area in the middle. Got to find the balance kind of guy. Which
I don't
makes
know
for
how
great discussions.
I don't know how to moderate that. I don't know how to turn it up or down, like to medium.
Well, that's what's great with you and I, is because we really are. I mean, even if I am a staunch supporter of one side, I do my best to try to see the other side and sometimes make the argument for the other side, just so it doesn't seem so unbalanced. And you and I are really opposite in that way, which is perfect. It makes it great, I think.
Yeah, I can't do that. No, I'm really bad at that.
Okay, we're going to get to the speed read of the topics.
Oh, yeah, we haven't done that yet? Okay.
Come on, focus, guys, focus.
Okay,
Thank you,
sorry,
Mar.
Mar. Sorry, I appreciate
that's
that.
why we have executive producer Mar here.
Just noticed that 2 weeks ago, if you go back and listen to any of those episodes, he did the speed read on Tuesday. We actually got to two of the topics by Thursday. Last week we tied. We got to two of the topics also. This week we haven't even gotten to the speed read yet.
Till halfway through the Thursday episode.
All right, I'm ready. Let's do the speed read. I'm ready to roll.
Should that be another bingo square? Strickland doesn't get to the speed read on Tuesday.
Well, only if you're going to send me new bingo cards because I think I have.
Right. We got to redo the bingo cards that way.
Yeah, I have 30
you know what?
of them.
I think in the next month or two we're going to have to redo the bingo cards because I'm looking through and there's things like, mention the guys we fucked, right? Like we don't talk about them anymore. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we never bring them up again after this week. So there's certain. We'll update them every month or 2 or 3, but it's a lot of work because there's a lot of squares.
I'm concerned that Slick Text, the app in which we get our bingo players.
Yeah.
I'm concerned we don't have enough people that are really focused on that as our way to reach our community, and it's expensive. It's like $30 a month for Slick Text, and I love our community and I love the fact that they've joined that way. But it looks like the people that have joined through Slick Text have also communicated with us now in other ways as well.
So maybe we should just do it through the Facebook group.
I'm thinking we might want to consider that because it's not very cost effective.
Slick Text seemed like a great idea to give people a new avenue, a new way to contact us, which maybe that's why people haven't been contacting us if it wasn't easy enough to text. But it has not really panned out, has it? Is that what you're saying?
I don't see it as being a cost effective option more so than something like the Facebook community.
Okay. Cool. I mean, there's only like 1.5 billion people on Facebook. So
how many are on there? 1 billion?
Yeah, I think it's 1.5 billion by now, isn't it?
If it's 1 billion people.
Speed reading time. Just okay.
I'm
waiting for that.
Gosh,
we're ready.
Okay, we're ready.
You're right. Yeah, go ahead.
We're ready for the speed read. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. I don't think I could live during the Wild West. What was your first R-rated movie? Who tests you more, your spouse or your boss? Ever shot a gun? What do you believe in more? Organized sports or organized religion? In life without the internet, what would you be doing for a living? Car, oil, choice? Totally tanked it. I'm just going to continue. I'm not going to start over again.
Do it.
Car oil changes. What's your philosophy? 2 optional. Patreon donations. We can start to pay. Anna. Amazon purchase of the week. No bingo winner yet. Patreon patrons. Thank you.
Oh, now hold on a second. Now, I noticed that some of those topics we actually covered. Do those count?
Do they
count?
That's a good point.
Do they count if you've done them before the speed read? I know that you still want to include them in the speed read.
That's a good point. Good point.
But
Patreon
do they count
patrons,
as...
thank you, we did.
Okay,
Patreon
Anna.
donations, we can start to pay. Anna, we did.
Yep.
2 optional, we got to actually on
Tuesday. On Tuesday, yeah. So we've actually covered 3 topics on this wheel, but does that count as a topic covered if it's done?
I suppose. Well, it's not like we're really keeping
all right,
track.
so good. So
and
we're
then no bingo winner yet. I want to get through that one really quick because it is Thursday. We have no bingo winner yet. Now, if you listen to the Tuesday show, we might have had one after that, but whatever. We'll have to start a new game next week, probably. But as of now,
Dude, I already won because of that. I already won.
You don't know that you have yet, Mar. You have to wait till it airs. So, if I publish at 3 a.m. East Coast time, I know what's going to happen. Mar is going to stay up Monday
at midnight.
until midnight. And at midnight, as soon as she downloads it, she's not even going to listen because she was party to the recording. She's just going to take a picture and say bingo and send it to us at midnight.
Mar, have you sent us a picture of you wearing the FunkNfans T-Shirt yet? I don't think so.
You haven't.
And you know what? Prosh has his T-shirt by now as well. So maybe the two of you, can you put on your shirts twinsies style and take a photo and send it to us?
Twinsy style. We'll see.
Twinsies. That means why are you stuck on the word twinsies style? It's not like Strickland called you the O word or anything like that.
Oh goodness! Wait, you mean you sent him a purple shirt?
I don't remember the color that I sent him. It was either coffee or eggplant. It was one of the two.
Oh, eggplant. Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll have to work on that one. Okay,
yes.
Fine. That's our assignment.
Nice Guy community members, those of you that have won the shirt, whether it's through being a new participant in the text to join Slick Text, or whether you've won the bingo competition, or you were a $10 Patreon contributor, can you take a photo of yourself in the shirt and send it to us? That would be so well appreciated, especially since we've done all of these nice things for you in return. Could you help us, please? Okay, Strickland, you did the speed read? We've now discovered that we've actually covered 3 of these topics. Did you want to spin the wheel and then read a topic?
Yeah, let's actually spin the wheel because we got some really good topics. We got a couple of them. Okay, what do you believe in more, organized sports or organized religion?
Yeah, what do you believe in more, organized sports, organized religion?
You're asking me personally, or are we asking Mar first?
Oh, I'm going to ask you first, Strickland, and then I want to get to Mar, because Mar needs some time to kind of let it sink in a little bit, I think.
Okay, as many of you who have listened may know, I'm not a huge sports fan, okay? But in this particular case, I am, you know what, fuck it. If I offend people, I offend people. I am really, really down on just about every organized religion out there.
And why is that?
Okay, I'm going to give you the generalized version, okay? So I don't want to pick on any specific religions. But to me, to say that most organized religions are focused around a book, whether it be the Bible or the Torah or the Quran or whatever it may be, and the whole philosophy is, this is what the book says, and so this is what we should do to honor this book. Okay, now here's the problems I have with it. First of all, it is a book in every case that was written 2,000, 5,000, or 6,000 years ago. Okay?
Wow.
Now, the second thing is, every one of these books have been translated numerous times. Although the Torah, you tell me, Doug, as the
oh boy, don't even ask me.
Okay, so
right.
So they've been rewritten, they have been reinterpreted, they have been reunderstood. So basically, what we're saying now is that you should follow this thing that was written thousands of years ago, even though we're in a totally different world now, and even though what we're reading now is an interpretation of it. Well, it's somebody else's interpretation of it. So the way that it's been interpreted may not be the way that it was even meant 2 or 5 or 6,000 years ago. And I don't see anywhere in any of these books where they say, hey, here are the rules. This is the rule book. To me, and by the way, I'm a Quaker, okay? And one of the beliefs of the Hicksite faction, the Quakers, and I'm not a religious guy, by the way, but that is that the Bible, and we're basically like an offshoot of Christianity, right? Is that, yes, the Bible is a really important book, right? But it's not the rule book. The Bible is basically, hey, here are a bunch of guys who at the time were pretty enlightened, okay? And here's their suggestions of what they do to honor their religion, honor their world, to try to be better people. These are some great suggestions that we have for you. It's not necessarily the rule book.
Well, and I think it's just what you said. It's the suggestions. It's the interpretation. That word is the word that really is my sticking point in any of these things. It's always the interpretation of the whatever the religious symbol is. It always is our interpretation of the religious symbol. You know, it's the oil in the lamp that lasted 8 days as opposed to just a short time, and that's the significance of why we celebrate Hanukkah for 8 days or whatever. It's like, come on, there's got to be more to it than that, and it's the interpretation of that really sometimes bothers me, and especially when you use it to your benefit against somebody else. And that's the part that I have a challenge with.
Well, and the other thing is that the way that many religions will sort of tweak it to their own good, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so
exactly.
Again, I guess I was going to try and stay general, but I'm going to make a couple of specific examples of people I'm going to dig on, right? Those of you who may not know, in the Jewish religion, and Doug, you correct me if I'm wrong on this, right? If you are more Orthodox, you are not allowed to do anything on the Sabbath. Now, not doing anything includes not driving any vehicles, nothing electronic, and you know what? I respect that if that's what you want to believe, right? But when you go to the synagogue on Friday, right? They have somebody that they hire who is the Shabbos Goy, right? Is that what they call it, Shabbos Goy?
I'm not Orthodox, but I'll say yes, just for the sake of moving the conversation along.
That person goes to the synagogue, turns the lights on, turns the air conditioning or the heat on, does all the electronic things that you're not allowed to do because it's your religious holiday.
So you're saying there's a well,
cheating?
We talked about this. We've had a workaround. You know, we've done this workaround.
Right. It's like you're cheating. Like, what the fuck, right? Like, if you really honestly believe that it is very important because of my religion that I want to honor this and not do any of these things on the Sabbath, I respect that. I may disagree with you, but you know what? I respect that. But to do all that and then to say, well, but it's okay if I go in somewhere else where somebody else has already done it for me. I'm sorry, that's cheating. That's bullshit.
All right, I'm in.
Just my opinion.
I'm in.
Now, the second thing is the Catholics, okay? God, I'm going to piss off so many people here, but what the fuck, right? If we haven't lost every listener on Tuesday, we'll lose all the rest today, right?
Okay. Are you sure this was the topic that you wanted to start with today,
apparently
right?
not. I guess so, okay? The whole idea of, with the Catholic Church and the priests and the things that have happened to, young boys over the years, right? Mm-hmm. Like, to put yourself in a position of power, like being the priest at a church, and to take advantage of that, like, okay, that's bad. Now,
yeah, but
wait a minute. Let me continue,
Okay, right.
I understand.
I think you're going to make the point that you need to make. Okay.
I understand that there are bad apples, okay? And you know what? Maybe somebody who is a predator may slip through the cracks because specifically they are trying to do that. Okay, I totally understand that stuff happens. You're going to miss sometimes. What really I can't get past is the fact that for years and years and years, this would happen, and basically the church would just move these guys around. You see, that's what kills me. The fact that they know what's going on, and they're like, you know what? You made a mistake. It's okay. We're going to move you somewhere else. Oh, you made the mistake again. We're just going to move you somewhere else. To me, like, how can you possibly stand behind that? And then the whole thing is they say, you know what? God, there's a reason for everything, right? God allows things to happen. If it's a natural disaster, God allowed it to happen for a reason. Okay, you know what? Maybe I don't agree with that, but I can see where you're coming from. Why would God allow that? I mean, there's nothing whatsoever positive that can come out of physically and psychologically damaging a child for life like that. God knew it was happening, allowed it to happen, and allowed these priests to be moved from parish to parish to parish to let it happen again? I have a very hard time with that.
So, Strick, how do you feel about organized sports?
And you know what's funny? Again, not a big sports fan, right? But our sports heroes, these are our gladiators. You know? Again, I'm not a big guy that likes to go to sports games, but I see the importance of it, and I like to rah-rah for my team. And you know what? We need this. I think it helps pull us together. I think it gives us something to root for, like as an area or as a city. Like I live in Baltimore, you know what? And Baltimore gets a lot of shit for a lot of bad stuff. Well, you know what? We got our Ravens, and we can rally around our football team, our Ravens. We can rally around our Orioles. You know what? I kind of like that, even though I'm not a huge fan of that. I like the fact that we all have our areas and our teams, and we can do that and rally around that, and I like that.
All right. Well, I brought up that topic because I thought that would be an area that you'd be able to chime. I don't know much about either organized religion or organized sports, but I knew it was a topic that I thought you had some definite polarized opinions and a polarized opinion over.
Yeah, now that I've rambled on about it, what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't believe in the whole sports thing. I mean, I like sports from a health perspective, and I think it's a great distraction. Sometimes I look at religion as is potentially a distraction in someone's life. It's an area that people oftentimes will focus on sometimes for the right reasons, sometimes for the wrong reasons. I don't like when there's any violence because of religion. The whole idea that people get killed as a part of their belief structure, the things that they believe in, to me just totally does not make sense. But there have been more people killed in the name of God than for any other reason.
Well, I've obviously have been ridiculously negative for the last 10 minutes about religion, but you know what? You bring up a really interesting point. I know a number of people personally, and obviously we've seen lots of stories about this, about people who have gone down the wrong path, or they've gotten into drugs, or they've just, their life has been shit, and they find religion, and it helps turn them around. And you know what? I do believe that sometimes people need, like, I don't want to call it a crutch, because a crutch makes it sound like it's not
they need a
real
focus point.
thing.
They need a focus point.
They need a focus point. And you know what? If religion is a focus point that helps you turn your life around, more power to you. And you know what? I like that. I really like that aspect of it. And clearly, as a religious communities have the power to be able to do that and help with that. And I am all about that.
Well, that's just it. And I think that you brought up a really valid word, and it's a word that I don't think that we use enough when it comes to religion. I think it really is totally about community. I really do. I think it's a chance for everybody to get together, to have great brotherhood, great sisterhood. They talk, they converse, they share ideas. But I don't like the rules that are attached to it. And I don't like the rules when they're used in some level of, if you don't do this, you are wrong. I just, for some reason, that's the challenge in religion for me. And I don't find I'm a religious guy. I think I'm a spiritual guy. I think there's a higher power that definitely has some level of importance in somebody's life. But I don't like the rules that are attached to religion. So, and if I don't do that, I'm wrong.
And I guess I'm the same way. And like when my kids, I guess it was 6-7 years ago now, got confirmed, right, in the Catholic Church, and the whole thing was, as the priest was talking, he was saying a lot of that, like everything, all the scripture everything he was saying was like, we do it for his goodwill. We do it because of him. We do it to make him happy. And I'm like, why don't we just do it because it's the right thing to do? I want to be a good person. Right. I don't want to do it because I'm going to make Jesus smile. That seems kind of weird.
Well, I think it's almost like you need somebody, not you, but one needs somebody to fall back on or to rely upon, because we don't feel like people don't feel like we're strong enough to be able to do this and disciplined enough that we can't take responsibility for ourselves. We need to say, because of this important person in that particular case that you're talking about, because of Jesus, that's why we do something. I think it should be like you said, it's because I want to do it and because it's the right thing to do. I almost think like I would feel better knowing that I'm doing it for me and because it's the right thing to do, and I'm confident, rather than saying I did this because of, in that particular case, because of Jesus or because of whatever other God that somebody might potentially believe in. I would rather it be, I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do, and I believe in it because it's the right thing. That's it.
The other thing that, to backpedal a little bit from my attack on religion, what I mention about like the Catholic priest, right? Sometimes it's the small factions that make everything look bad, right? Right. Like Muslims, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong at all with the Muslim religion, but there are fanatics out there that feel that if you are not Muslim and you are not living by the Quran or whatever, that you need to die. And it's like, wow. But the reality is
that's such a small, right? The
reality
is
that's the problem. It really is a small faction. I mean, like,
the
Muslim religion is one of the largest in the entire world, but really it is a very small faction of people that are causing all the violence and all the problems. And it's the same thing with Catholicism, I think, or any other religion. Sometimes a small faction makes them all look bad.
It's any other religion, and the vast majority of the people in the world, I really do think the vast majority of the people in the world are good, and people are nice, and they want to do well by others, and it's the extremists, the ones that really create the big issues. That if they're, whether they're a terrorist or just someone that just is not following the law, and the law of just not the law meaning like the laws that the police have set up or the government has set up, but the laws of what it's like to be a good human being. Like, don't hurt other people. Do the
right thing.
Do the right thing. Don't instill your beliefs in other people. You believe whatever you want to. I'm happy to have people believe in whatever they want to, as long as it doesn't interfere with my life.
Mar, what do you think? Mar's been like completely silent.
I don't know if Mar is going to chime in on religion. Is she going to chime in on religion at all? Are you, Mar?
Yeah, no opinion. I take the fifth.
It's interesting. What's really interesting about that, Strick, is that some people are so open and willing to chat about it, and that's great. And some people, very similar to Mar, don't even want to express their beliefs. And is it for fear of being like cast out, Mar, that you I'm just, not that you don't have to express your beliefs, but is it for fear that you don't want people to know what your opinion is, or what is it?
No. Oh, I probably just don't know enough about a lot of different things to formulate something that's worthwhile and well thought out. So I just let people have their own beliefs and, to each their own kind of thing. So that's really, I mean, except when, like you were talking about, if it gets negative, then I don't like that. But, I can't really say which one is right, which one is wrong. But, people have their beliefs, and if it encourages community and gets them through the day, which a lot of people need that. It gives hope, right? I mean, for a lot of people, religion is about hope. So that's to each their own,
Okay.
All right. Well, we're once again 40 minutes in and probably should wrap it up. But we did get to a topic.
Can we do one more?
If you really want to. If you want to go like 50 minutes.
I just want to do one more topic.
I
don't want to end the Thursday episode on religion.
Is there one
going into the Sabbath? I don't want to.
So I don't know if this will be a less controversial topic or not. Who tests you more, your spouse or your boss?
Yeah, again, not from any personal experience do I ask the question, who tests you more, your spouse or your boss?
But you're your own boss, so
it's
not a good question for you anyway.
It is an interesting concept, and who do you learn more from? Who do you get tested more from? Who do you respect more? Who has more authority over you, and who do you believe in more?
That's a whole lot deeper than just who tests you more, Doug.
Yeah, well, I guess when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, well, this is an interesting topic. I don't even remember why I came up with the topic, other than just thinking it's very interesting because we live these two separate lives. We live this work life that our spouses don't know much about. And then we go home and we live the spousal life. We live the married life if we're married or significantly othered. And we live that life. And it's very rare that those two lives, unless you work with your spouse, rarely come together. So I don't know. I just think, are you the same person? Like, Strick, if you had to look at your office life and compare that to your home life, do you feel like are they both the same? Do you have the same level of authority and give and take, cooperation and level of responsibility in both of those worlds?
No, but I feel that that's something that happens in a lot of different situations and is not unusual. In other words, it sounds like you're approaching it like, hey, are you a different person at work than you are at home? And my answer
exactly.
My answer would be yes, but my answer would also be I'm a different person when it's you and me together. Versus if it's you and me and a whole bunch of guys, or you and me and people that I know from, high school or whatever else it may be. So,
but are you equally comfortable in all of those environments, or is there one that you gravitate? I think that you probably, if you're like me, you gravitate to I like hanging out with the people that are closest to me best, as opposed to, boy, that's uncomfortable having that business meeting.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's just I think it can be such a big topic, and I think it's not a bad thing to say, hey, you're a different person, right? Like as long as you're not lying to yourself or like trying to they're different things that need to be conveyed in different situations, right? So, like, I'm not saying, oh, yeah, like, I go to work and I lie to everybody. They don't know who I am. But I would say that there are just certain things about my personality that are, maybe not as appropriate to bring forward at work type of thing, I tell my daughters all the time, like, let's say that I say something to them and, sometimes if they're in a bad mood, they'll like snap back at me, right? And I'll be something like, hey, like, would you talk to your teacher that way? It's really disrespectful.
That's a good point. Right.
And it is how you see people differently or how you talk to people differently. I'm going to talk to my boss differently from the way that I'm going to talk to my peer or talk to my child. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like I'm lying to any of them. It's just a different situation, a different level of respect, and a different way that you need to communicate with people, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. How about you, Mar? Do you find yourself in? Are you able to voice your opinion as easily in your work environment as you are in your personal environment, or do you feel like there's too much potential that there creates some negative waves if you in either one of those environments?
I think I agree with Strickland. I mean, you're sort of like tempering yourself or filtering yourself or letting yourself wear different hats in different situations. So I think that's just how it is in general, right? You know what side of you can show to certain people, and you know what's appropriate in each circumstance, right? So I think Strick has the right idea. It's not that you're lying to yourself. It's, you know, that in different cases you have to say things a certain way, or you have to show a different level of your personality. You can't let it all out all the time. But on the flip side, there's that underlying layer where you're still consistent to, you know, who you are, right? So I don't know. I think it's tough. I mean, the power dynamics are definitely different, right? Because you might not feel like you can speak up, or you don't have a voice. I mean, that definitely happens, right? Because people sort of bend or give in to their bosses a lot. Well, maybe not a lot, but...
I think most people...
Mara, I agree. It's totally situational, right? I tell people all the time, like when I hear about some guy getting pulled over, right, and he's giving the cop grief, right? I'm like, okay, when I get pulled over, I don't care what I have or have not been doing wrong. There is never any reason that I can think of that I want to give him shit, right? There's no situation that I can think of where I am going to be anything but polite and deferential to a cop. And there's a couple reasons. First of all, he's got a gun. All right? Like, I don't want to piss him off. But the reality is, these guys...
Does your head really go there? I never think about a police officer approaching my car and thinking,
honestly,
he has a gun.
Honestly, it's not really the first thing. Honestly, the first thing I think of, is this guy's job is ridiculously difficult. There are situations that he deals with, or he or she deal with, every single day that I can't even comprehend, right? I could do something as routine as pulling somebody over for having a tail light out, and I could possibly get killed. Okay? So just thinking about it from that perspective, the first thing I think is, you know what? The last thing I want to do is give them any reason to believe that they're going to have a problem with me. The first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that they know immediately they are in a safe situation. Everything is fine. It is okay. And because really I'm being deferential, right? And no matter what I've done or haven't done, I again, it's the specific situation. And
Strick, it sounds like this might be a more of a common occurrence than I'm feeling it is. How often have you gotten pulled over? Have you gotten pulled over recently?
You know, it's funny. It hasn't happened recently, but I tend to drive faster than I should, and absolutely, I've been pulled over many times, and I've gotten a number of tickets, and I've gotten out of a number of tickets too. And you know what? Sometimes I get out of them maybe just because I am being polite, but the reality is that. Sure, if being polite helps me get out of a ticket, terrific. But that's not why I'm being polite. I'm being polite because I understand the gravity of the job that this person has to do, and there is no reason for me to add more stress to that or make them possibly think they may be in a situation where they're gonna have a problem. And, you know, if I'm with my boss, right? Let's say it's a boss that I am very comfortable with, and it's a boss that I know is very open to suggestions from other people. I may speak to him in one way versus another boss who I know is, hey, it's my way or the highway. I know I'm always right. You know what? For that boss, even if I have an opinion, I may think to myself, you know what? He's not even going to fucking listen, so I'm just not going to say anything. So it's not a situation of, oh my God, I'm so scared, right? It's a situation of, it's not worth my breath to even bring it up because I know who I'm dealing with. He's not going to listen, so fuck it. You know? Do you ever think it's within your right, without being asked, to offer an opinion about one of your coworkers to a superior? Oh, totally, 100%. But again, it depends on the superior. It depends on the situation. I absolutely believe, like the company I'm with right now, right? Like, I know my boss he's a very open guy. He wants to improve the company all the time. And if there was some weird issue with a coworker that I had that I think is maybe hurting the team, or I would totally volunteer that if I thought it was something that was going to help the team because he would want to hear it, right? Now, my last boss that I had, it's very interesting. My last boss at the same company, he worked remotely, right? He just recently left the company. He was a really good guy, but he wasn't a really good manager, right? And I would bring certain things up to him that I would go, hey, I think this is hurting the team, and it would just get blown off. And I don't think it was that he thought he was smarter. It just wasn't a focus for him, right? Because he just wasn't a great manager or a great leader. He was a really good guy and he was a hard worker. He was just in the wrong position, I think. And so in that particular case, I stopped bringing stuff to him because I knew nothing would get done.
I think we've come to the end of our episode here, Strickland. I think we're going to end it on a positive business note. Nicely done.
I know you were probably trying to end it on a lighter, more fun note. Sorry, I didn't go there. I probably should have.
It's all right. It's all right. We've ended the last couple of episodes in more of a serious manner.
Oh, and by the way, if you're looking for another episode that's really light and stupid and a lot more fuckery, tomorrow's episode is it, even though it's an interview day.
Oh my gosh, tomorrow's episode with David Ralph from Join Up Dots podcast is amazing. You're going to love his episode. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's with Shantae Willis. She did a great job. I met her in the green room at the C-Suite conference in May. And Bernie Swain, if you missed Monday's episode, he is the founder of the Washington Speakers Bureau. So make sure you check it out. Let me just look and see who is. Hold on a second.
And by the way, Mar,
next week?
I know, Mar, you are very polite, and Doug, I think, hit it on the head earlier. I don't know if he said it this episode or the last episode, but Mar is only going to chime in when she is given a window. Mar, I apologize that we didn't give you more windows. I know Doug and I both kind of ran off on tangents these last two episodes, and we love to hear from you more, but we have to actually stop and realize that we need to stop and ask you if we want you to chime in, and we just go off on tangents too much.
Don't apologize. I'm just a fly on the wall. I like listening to you guys. And you said that so well, by the way, Strick. I really appreciated your analysis. I can hear like the business analyst in you coming out because you like to see things from different perspectives and then you put it together. So it's really cool.
Speaking of business analysts, and which I'm going to closely tie to business consultants, which I closely will tie to a professional speaker. That's how I got to this Leap Strickland. How has your molding of your message going? I know you said you're driving down to Florida, and you probably will have some time to just kind of reflect and start building your message a little bit more. Are you thinking about working on that, like we talked about in the airplane coming back from Vegas?
I'm literally into the first half of the first day of my vacation as we're recording this. So yeah. I'm hoping that by the end of this time that I will have it. I really do have a great focus though, Doug. You mentioned, and I really think this is very true. When you're speaking, it's all about the stories, right? You have to tell a story. It's not about conveying information. It's about telling a story. And so I've got pages and pages and pages of notes of bits and pieces of things that I want to work into my speech. And now I'm going to do that by way of stories. And so, yes, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, okay, what are the stories that I want to tell that are best
exactly.
going to convey these bits and pieces of things and it's a great way to go. I think it's a great way to approach it.
It's almost like you could stop with the first half of that. What stories do I want to tell? That's number one. That's the first thing I would focus on. If I was building a speech again, like my keynote speech, I probably built 8 stories and I can break them into, I don't like to tell any more than 3 or maybe possibly 4 stories as a part of my keynote, because over the course of 45 minutes or an hour, that's a lot of stories. And then you have to have some lessons in there. But if you start with your stories and you just build your stories out, and then, okay, we got our stories, then you and I get back together and we say, okay, what can we make out of this story? I love like having the ingredients out on the table and saying, are we going to make cookies today? Because we could use these same ingredients and we could make cake. It's like it could go in a couple different directions. So don't worry necessarily about what message you want to make yet. Let's just get your stories, because the stories that you love are the ones you're going to tell so amazingly well. And that's the part that I think most people miss, is that a great speech is just a series of great stories tied together with a link and a message that can be weaved throughout the entire keynote. That's where I think you got it.
Okay. I think we're almost an hour in, and we really need to wrap it up because I am freaking hungry. My family has already eaten and like waiting on me as I'm doing these recordings.
Strick is on vacation doing the podcast. I love it.
The nice guys never take vacations. This is how
we have
hard
not
we're
taken
working
a
for you.
vacation. Yeah,
not
we
even
are.
on July 4th, although you don't want to listen to the July 4th episode. Please don't listen to it. Please don't.
That's why we titled it the way that we did. All right. Nice Guy community, never underestimate the value and the power of nice. Mar, thanks for being here. Strickland, I hope you enjoy the rest of your vacation. Can I say those final words?
Oh, sure, go for it.
All right, Steve O'Brien, take us out of here.
If you're hearing my voice right now, you obviously enjoy the podcast. So why not help the guys out? Click on the Patreon link in the show notes, and for as little as $2 a month, you can show your support. Or show us whatever you want.